Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Listen, all you New Yorkers.
Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Hey, the Board of Peace. You heard about the Board of Peace? They came out of Davos, and we're going to have a Board of Peace, an international Board of Peace. It sounds intriguing. I mean, the UN is nothing but, that's what it's supposed to be, but the UN is nothing more than an anti-America, anti-Israel bitch fest, right? They don't do anything over there other than screw things up and steal. But the Board of Peace, here's Marco Rubio, not only the Secretary of State, I often forget, he's the National Security Advisor, on this brand new Board of Peace. How's it going to work?
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here today. It's an honor to serve as the Secretary of State during a historic presidency.
National Security Advisor.
And it's a historic presidency because the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, is someone who is not limited by what others say is possible or what others say is impossible. He's not limited by some of the things that have happened in the past, and he's willing to talk to or engage with anyone in the interest of peace, always putting the American people and our national security first, but understanding that in the world that we share with so many others, peace is paramount to all of us. We are here today because of President Trump's vision. If we go back just a few months ago, people thought what was happening in Gaza was impossible to solve. 28 hostages that were dead, others that were still living, all these hostages that were being held. No one thought that that would ever come to a resolution without more fighting and more bloodshed along the way. In fact, frankly, many thought it was intractable. And sadly, many of the institutions that have served us well, in many cases, for the last 70 years, were unable to do anything about it. But President Trump had the vision and the courage to dream the impossible, to believe that it was doable, and to pursue it with all of his heart. And he was in that capacity assisted by an extraordinary team, and I think both Jared and Steve deserve a tremendous amount of credit, Jared Kushner and Steve Woodcock, for all the work they put in. And all of our partners here today. And now we have this Board of Peace, who I believe's possibilities are endless. Obviously, with a focus, first and foremost, on making sure that this peace deal in Gaza becomes enduring. And I know this president has it as his highest priority, and will give it everything he has to make sure that this is successful. I also want to acknowledge the extraordinary leaders that are here today. This is not just a Board of Peace, this is a Board of Action. Just like President Trump is a president of action. A lot of times people like to give speeches. I've been to many of these forums, and they're not useless, and they're not, they have utility in many cases. But oftentimes in international affairs, we often find ourselves at events where people are reading these scripted statements, these strongly worded letters that they put out, but no action. Nothing happens. This is a group of leaders that are about action. And the President of the United States is a president of action, of getting things done. And today is the beginning of that, of a new era and a new stage that we think is so important as a model to the rest of the world of what is possible.
It's so interesting to hear him say that, how he said it. Most presidents just want to be president. And for them, just going to Davos is a big thrill. They've never been to a huge international conference before, or the last time they went, they were just a lowly senator. You know what I mean? They didn't get to go to the head of the table. Oh, look at me now. I'm so important now. I'm at Davos. I'm a big deal. I took Air Force One. See, most presidents, they just, it takes them 2 or 3 years or even a total term to get over that stuff. They can't believe they're president. They've never been at that altitude. And at that altitude, the air is thin. And if you're not acclimated, you could get hypoxic and crash and burn. President Trump has been at that altitude since 1978. I heard somebody say, it was really interesting. They're like, these ice raids are not popular. These ice raids are not popular. Well, that doesn't mean they're not right. And that doesn't mean they're not good. I heard President Trump speaking in 1978 say, the guy with the great idea, but might not be popular, might lose if he's up against the guy with no great brain, but a great big smile. Remember that interview with Rona Barrett? It's true. It was prophetic. Absolutely prophetic. 800-848-9222. 800-848-9222. I don't know who the hell Ryan Wedding is, but I'm glad he's in jail if he was this drug kingpin they're claiming. An Olympic snowboarder. I didn't even know snowboarding was in the Olympics. You know what they did wrong with the Olympics? They made it every 2 years. When I was growing up, the Olympics were every 4 years, right? I mean, they had the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics in the same year. So, 1976, that's my first Olympics that I remember. Montreal, and I think Innsbruck, Austria, was it? But it was the same year. 1980, we had them in Lake Placid. Remember the hockey team, our hockey team? Do you believe in miracles? Yeah. Yes. Then we had it in Russia. No, I think, did we boycott that one? I actually don't remember where the Summer Games were in 1980. I feel like we boycotted it. Yeah, you know why? Because they invaded Afghanistan. And then 1984, it was Los Angeles and Sarajevo. But now it's every 2 years. They leapfrog it. Like you got the Summer Games, then 2 years later you got the Winter Games, then 2 years later you got the Summer Games, and 2 years later. They diluted the Olympic brand. Damn, they should have talked to me first. I really could have helped. But that's the way it goes. Hey, what are we doing for Sid's anniversary? What are we not doing for Sid's anniversary, for crying out loud? They hired the Blue Angels to come fly stunts. 10 years at a radio station. That's great. We're going to have the Rockettes? The President of the United States? Actually, it's all pretty cool. And the President of the United States, literally, we're not having the Blue Angels. But next week is his 10th anniversary here at WABC. And next week is the 40th anniversary of the Space Shuttle Challenger blowing up. Every time I think about that thing, I get mad. I really do. All those engineers knew it was wrong, but they were weak, and they signed that piece of paper. And whoever that guy was, I need everybody to take off their manager, their engineer hat and put on their manager hat. What? I got data here that says it's going to blow up. Damn thing's going to blow up. Well, that's not what our bosses want to hear right now. Well, do they want to hear about 7 dead astronauts? Because that's what they're going to hear if they don't hear this. Well, what do they want to hear first?
Busted. The reviews are in.
Awesome.
You wanted more Joe Concha. And we heard you. More Joe. More show.
We're talking to you. Under promise and over deliver.
Joe Concha. Weeknights at 9. Plus Sunday mornings at 11 on 77 WABC.
Jimmy Kimmel no longer tries to be funny. Not that he ever really was.
Joe Concha. Weeknights at 9. Plus Sunday mornings at 11.
Democrats defending cocaine coming into the country.